Holy Mary, Mother of God, we're back at the 48th Annual Nashville Film Festival. Folks, I'm Ben. This is my buddy Morey. We're your hosts of The Ben and Morey Show, and we are with the lovely, the talented people behind... He gave it to her. The lovely, the talented Dory. It's so good to see you, Dory.
Yes, hello.
No, we're here. We're here with Girl Flu, a wonderful film. Guys, who are you? What is Girl Flu?
I'm the writer and director of Girl Flu, and Girl Flu is a feature about a 12-year-old girl getting her first period and how that kind of blows up her whole life.
I'm David Wilson, and I'm the producer of Girl Flu.
And anything to say about periods?
I have learned so much about periods in the last 3 years. A lot of it from Dory, many of it from the women who have seen our film, and I cannot recommend this more for men, especially men who maybe need to learn more about periods, because it's very educational.
Well, let me ask you something. Is the premise behind this film, is it embellished? Does one, I was a boy once, and we've all gone through hormones, and we know that it throws our lives for a loop at the time in which it happens, but does her life, does her life really go into a tailspin as a result of this thing that happens to girls across the land?
I mean, it does. It's, there's a notion of when you get your first period, you're told that you've become a woman, and of course boys go through a lot of changes too, but for boys it's a little different because there's not that one threshold that you cross where suddenly one day...
Still a process. We're still in the process. Ben and I are, yeah.
Yeah. So like in the culture that we live in now, boys aren't really like taken to a cave and told you have 48 hours to survive, and if you can do it, then you're a man. Our culture is different now, but young women are told that suddenly you're a woman now, and that can be really shocking and upsetting because it happens when you're 12, which is much too young. So,
right.
Yeah.
Is there a good amount of, is this a comedy, this film? I mean, or is there a good amount of that in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's definitely a comedy.
It's a comedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And when did you write this script?
I started writing it about 5 years ago.
Okay.
It's been about a 5-year process from here to, yeah.
Very cool. How's it going so far? You've already premiered. You've had your 2 premieres here. How's it being received?
It's great. It's great. We hear amazing things. I get to hear amazing stories. Like every time I go to a festival and we have people people come up to me and they tell me their experiences.
Tell you about their period.
I get to hear about the first period, and the really amazing thing that's happened is moms bring their daughters, dads bring their daughters.
Right. Some dads bring their sons.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's cool. I mean, women love it. It's kind of sort of it's a little bit obvious that women love this story. It's our story.
Right.
But yeah, it's been like a really beautiful surprise how much men love this story. There's great male characters in this movie. Jeremy Sisto's in this movie. Diego Joseph's in this movie. They play the men in these women's lives, and for me, it's kind of a way of saying like, hey, this isn't just a women's issue. There's room for men in here too.
Well, and that, of course, complicates the issue that her mother, Jeremy Sisto, in the film plays her boyfriend, right? So, is that correct?
Plays the mother's boyfriend.
Sorry. Should have clarified. Plays the mother's boyfriend, but it's not just these bodies changing that enables the main conflict. There's a lot going on in her life.
Yeah, because it's like if you're going to become a woman, and that's what you're being told, then suddenly you think you have to figure out all this other stuff at the same time, while you're figuring out, it isn't that different from what boys go through. It's just really definitive for women. And the difference for women is that you really have to deal with a lot of, physical issues as a result of it. But yeah, it's her mother's boyfriend now has to figure out how to be a father figure in this particular way. The boy that likes her has to figure out how to reach out to her and says, I understand. I have 4 sisters. So yeah, it's about how the whole system in your life is affected by this change.
David, I have a question for you. Being that we don't, in these interviews, we haven't gotten to talk to too many producers, and I'm always interested in the role of a producer in film world, because you kind of have to be an everyman, and I have to imagine it's hard to be an everyman, especially with this particular film. Did you ever, well, first off, what did your role entail with this film, and did you ever get people going, excuse me, what did you want? What is this about? Because David, you're a man.
That is correct. I am a man. And, I was with this movie, I read the script, and I said, this is great. We got to make this. And, I'm definitely in a position where I kind of straddle the creative process as well as, the business and the logistical aspects of the film as well. And yeah, it's been interesting. I mean, I've been in a lot of rooms and a lot of phone conversations where, you've got to pitch the film like very quickly, and when it sort of comes to the end, then she gets her period, and hilarity ensues. There's a lot of confusion, and a lot of interesting conversations come from that. But it's been great. I mean, I've learned so much from this process, both about just how to treat ladies and how to be a man as well. I think a lot of men would benefit from the experience of watching this movie, to a certain extent, in the same way that I benefited from producing it.
And we're talking about it as though this is some crazy bold idea for a movie. In the land of independent film, this is a pretty tame idea. I mean, there are some bizarre movies being made out there. I would imagine most people, right? This is life. Yeah, this is not supernatural. This is very mundane in a lot of ways.
It is, which is
which is weird.
Yeah, no, I take no offense at saying that. I think that's actually one of the
real. We don't know why we're making such a big deal out of you, because periods happen to all of us, Dory. All right.
So mundane. Yeah, but no, that's a good point. Is that it's life. It happens. It's not just a women's issue. This is just about humanity. It's about taking something that seems like it's in the dark and that maybe we feel ashamed of, and just saying, why? This is just humanity. We can all talk about this. Yeah.
Twice. Do you guys have children? Not together. I'm just saying. I'm just curious. I saw you have a wedding band. Are you a father?
I am a father.
How?
I have a 5-month-old son.
Is that hard?
I mean, sleep is a little more challenging, but it's definitely a rewarding experience.
I'm not a father. I'm just curious. I hear it's hard.
I can tell.
Yep.
I have a beautiful dog. She's about 19 years old.
Dory, that's not a child.
She's fixed. I just have a uterus.
Let me ask an ignorant question, which will be one of about 6 I've asked during this interview. Girl flu, is that a term that you made up, or is that do people refer to their periods as girl flus?
It's one of the things. There's about 5,000 things that you can, going from like the utterly disgusting and crass to, something so oblique that, maybe some people don't recognize it. But yeah, we were looking for something that was charming and inclusive, and it felt perfect.
Actually, if you look on Twitter, #girlflu, you'll get a lot of really interesting things that come up.
Well,
so
I'm
we didn't come up with it, but people use it. It's not that popular. Maybe it will be soon.
And we're glad you brought that up. We're running out of time here, but where can people go to learn more without just blindly Googling girl flu? Maybe where can they go to learn more about your film?
Girlflu.com. Is a good place to start. Facebook, we have a Girl Flu Facebook page.
Girl Flu Facebook page.
We have a Girl Flu Twitter.
I'm learning how to use Instagram.
WebMD possibly would be a.
Sure, yeah.
I don't think the movie's up there yet, but soon.
Just something to consider.
But if you want to learn how to use a tampon, watching our movie is a good place to start.
Well, and guys, this sounds like a great film. Congratulations. How much longer are you in Nashville for? You're here
permanently.
But Dory, how about yourself?
I'm here for about 4 more days. so I'm gonna wander around and eat some hot chicken. Yeah, baby.
That's what's popular here.
Yeah. Dory and David, everybody from Girl Flu. Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.